Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Friday podcast. There is no crying in crochet. We are the podcast that y- takes your everyday crochet frustrations and gives you the answers, we hope. Alrighty, let's just get some business done real quick. I am Biz from Busy Crochet. This is my lovely cohort, Miss
Debbie.
Debbie from MadameStitch. And I apologize. I'm I have a little bit of a delay on my computer, so um I'm having issues today. This was supposed to go really, really smooth. So anyway, back to hi everybody. All right. So, and I don't know why every time I host I have issues. So hopefully you are very forgiving on this Friday. So if you are following us on YouTube, please like and subscribe to both of our channels, Busy Crochet and Madam Stitch Crochet on YouTube. We have lots of videos and tutorials already there. We're also working on providing you with more stitch tutorials and videos to help you through your crochet journey. And if you are streaming on Facebook, please give StreamYard permission to see your name so that we can see your name. Otherwise, you show up as a random Facebook user. As far as we are aware, there is nobody that is using that information for anything other than providing you or us with your name already. And so thank you for your patience and for sticking around. What's up this week, Deb? We
Oh
actually
my
didn't have that
goodness.
conversation before the show started, so it's all new.
We didn't. So this is all a surprise for you, right? Um,
Yes.
so this week we got a beautiful, gorgeous snowstorm on Tuesday. It was a weak nor'easter. So if you don't know what a nor'easter is, it's a low that comes up the East Coast and just draws all the ocean into it. And if it's cold enough,
Oh.
it can give you
Uh-huh.
blizzards. If it's not cold enough, it gives you tons of rain and hurricane force winds and all of this stuff.
Oh my
It started, this one was a weak one. So we only got about 8 inches, but it was absolutely gorgeous. I just looked out the window and I couldn't get any work done because I was just watching the snow. But then the sun came out and it
Yeah.
started to melt and it's, a hot mess now. So that's all right. Um,
That
But
was always the
Biz
worst
and
part
I
about
will talk to
I'm
you
sorry, that was
about
always the
this
worst part about
later.
winter was when it went brown.
Yeah, and I had just washed my car. Nicely done. Um, but we've been working our little fannies off this week to get the full pattern ready for sale for our Memories blanket cowl that's starting on Monday, and the pattern just went on sale today. And thanks to Neve, who is watching us today, she checked our patterns and made sure that all the mistakes were gone, and it's so easy to read, and it's just a gorgeous document. We'll talk about that later.
It
What's
is
up with
great.
you, Biz?
Me, okay, so it's been kind of the same thing. We've had a lot of rainy weather here, so I didn't get the snow, but I did get a lot of moisture. And it's been teetering between it wants to be warm and it wants to be cold. So it's just enough to give us cold humidity in the house. It's too warm to put on the heat and it's too cold to turn on the air, so we're just freeze.
Oh, I hate that. I hate
So
that.
it's this is kind of the miserable part of the year for us.
You just
Um,
freeze your little tushy off, and there's
you
nothing
do.
you can do.
You do. And it's that bone chilling cold, that kind of wet, humid cold that gets all up inside you. It's not fun. But other than that, I too have been, busy beaver behind the scene, getting everything ready for today. It's been a go, go, go kind of week. And
Mhm.
uh, Deb and I have talked about the fact that we need like an afternoon nap today. It's just kind of crashing.
Well, if we fall asleep during the podcast, there's your explanation.
Oh
Just
yeah.
saying.
No. But we love you guys too much for you to have to endure
No.
that. So, yeah. Other than
Uh,
that, it's been a really good week. Unfortunately, I did have a funeral that I had to attend yesterday for a church friend. She had gotten cancer, and I shouldn't say gotten. She was diagnosed with cancer, and it went really really fast. So it was all of a sudden. But it was a good homegoing for her yesterday. And other than that, my week was just this pattern.
We have been obsessed, have we not, Biz?
We have not. We have not.
Yes. The answer is yes, we have.
Yes, I've been obsessed. Seriously.
Uh,
Okay, so this week's topic just happens to be about cows one more time. Yes. What are you doing?
I I'm
It
drunk
it
on
is
tired, I
about
guess. Yeah,
it is
yeah.
about cows, and this time we are gonna be talking from the maker's point of view. Last time that we talked about cows and what are cows about, it was about the designer's point of view and, what you could, what we go through on this end. And so this time we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can expect on your end because really that's what a cow's about.
Mhm.
It's about you guys. Let me get over to my other handy dandy. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to select a cow that's right for you. Um, Cows are a very personal thing, I believe. And okay, there's two ends of it. I think sometimes they're very, very personal. Sometimes they're a bandwagon thing. And it depends on how much that cow means to you. Like, what does that project mean to you as to
Mhm.
whether or not it's the right cow for you? I think that's really, even though we grab the pattern and stuff like that, I'm one of the worst about, oh my God, I have to have that pattern, get it, and never make it.
Mm. Yeah, I think also you have to decide whether that particular project is something that you want to make.
Hmm.
Every cow that I've seen, the project looks stunning, and there are so many
Hmm.
blanket cows out there that it's easy to get drawn into all the cows. There are some shawls, there are some baby blankets, there are Christmas stockings, there are all kinds of cows, but you have to decide if that project is something that if you make it, will you use it or do you
Yeah.
have a purpose for it or is that even something that you like? I mean, there are types of projects that I really just don't enjoy making. Please don't put a sock in front of me. I don't want anything to do with it. They look great.
Yeah.
Don't like making them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to look at what project is being offered and make sure that it's something that you really enjoy making because you're making an investment of time
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
and sometimes money. So you want to make sure that it's a project you really like.
Well, and speaking of money, one of the things that a lot of people will use as a basis of whether this cow is right for me is whether or not this is a free cow or whether or not it is a paid cow. I've done both where it's been 100% free, and I've done where it's been 100% paid. And there's mixed reviews on both.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, one of the things about free is it's free, but it takes some effort. You
Hmm.
have to really pay attention because the pieces of that project are released online. And the
Hmm.
free part of it is that you don't have to pay to access it online, but
Hmm.
you also have to be a little bit tech savvy in knowing that there's the link. I have to keep that browser window open so that
Hmm.
I can make that part of it. And I need to
Hmm.
be able to get back to that piece if I close that browser window or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's free money wise, it's not free time wise.
Right. And on the other hand of that, where I've done free ones, this is the first time that I'm doing it where the actual cal is on my blog. I've always done it where it's a free PDF download on Ravelry.
Mm,
And but where I've run into problems with that is that people won't update their libraries. So a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year down the line, they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I went to make this blanket and I don't have all of the pieces." By then, it's been transferred over to a paid pattern and it's
mhm.
no longer available for free. Well, so now you have taught me a new way of doing a cal so that it's on the blog. So it is going to be permanently free. They're never going to have to worry about that anymore. And the only way to get it on a PDF is going to be, to upgrade your experience and pay for it. But it
Mhm.
is going to be it's a forever free pattern now.
It is.
But that's where I ran into problems before, was that it wasn't technically an always free pattern.
It was free during the Cal.
Mhm.
After that, it was not. Yeah. So I see
And
what you're saying. I've never done one
I
like
would
that.
I would put out so many updates and say, "Don't forget this date, it changes to a paid pattern. Make sure you're updating your library." And inevitably, 1 to 5 people every single cow would be like,
Mhm.
"I don't have it. Where is it?" So, yeah.
Oh, gee.
Oh, gee. So, yeah, but, I mean, you learn, you live, you learn. So,
Mhm.
anyway, and that's kind of how you coming back around to the subject that we're talking about, how to select the right cow for you. You have to obviously, it has to resonate with you in whatever way,
Mhm.
whether because it's a free one or because it's paid or because it's downloadable in this way or because it's a design that you just cannot pass up. Whatever is the reason, that's when it's the right cow for you.
Mhm.
Alrighty. And now we're going to talk about what can you, different kind of banner. It's along the bottom. What can you expect from the designer during a cow?
What are we gonna do for you?
Yes.
Well, I know I want you to speak about your Cal experience and how you've run them in the past, but for me, it's a chance to interact with the people who are making my
Mhm.
pattern or making our pattern.
Yeah.
We hang out in the Facebook group. I love helping people work through certain instructions because not everything is as clear as we think it is.
Yeah.
Um, and I love answering questions. And the best part is seeing what everybody's making because we all
Yes.
get to post pictures and stuff. And that's so much
Absolutely.
fun in the Facebook group. We're there, we're hanging out. We're not literally
Mhm.
in the group 24/7 because that would just be
Kind of, though.
impossible. But we get all the notifications so we can come
Mhm.
in and we make sure that we're available when there's a question.
Mhm. Yes. And excuse me, I'm just going to piggyback on what you said. The very best part for me about um, doing these cows is watching other people do it, because I actually did a post recently about something else, but I said I would rather that you're making my pattern than sitting there staring at it wishing you could make it. I want you to touch my pattern. That's why I write it, because like I
Yeah.
had so much fun doing it. I want you to have so much fun doing it. And I love it so much. I want you to love it so much. So it's not about the dollars as much as it is about the experience. Do you know what I mean?
For us and the
And
makers.
yes, yes, because it's
Yeah.
just as much fun for us to watch you do it and see what you come up with, because like we have our design brain. And our design brain we usually within a certain color palette, usually within certain stitches, yada yada, all of that stuff. But when it comes to other people, the most fun part of it is watching other people take that and go, "Oh, but I think I wanna do this," and, "Oh, wait, I
Mm.
think I wanna do that,"
Mhm.
and really making
Mhm.
it something super personal, because that's what a craft should be. It should be something
Yep.
super personal.
Right. And I can't wait at the end to talk about, our blanket because it embodies all of that stuff, and I am just so excited to see what people do with it, but
I
I
know,
I
me
get
too.
ahead of myself.
That's okay, it's super exciting, and we are both stoked for this, but we have a set list here, so we're gonna go down the set list. Alright.
Yes, we
So,
are.
setting goals and staying motivated during a cal, because a cal, oh wait, did we fully answer the last question, like what to expect from us? We're gonna be here to
The
support
only
you.
thing well, yeah, I think yeah, we absolutely did, and the only thing
Mhm.
we skipped was what materials will I need? I don't know if you've got that
Oh.
later,
Oh, I must
but
have gotten it
I
later,
just
yeah.
wanna briefly
Nope, it's
talk
right there,
about
but I
that
completely missed it.
because every cal has, a
Mhm,
certain set of materials that you'll need, and you can make it exactly the way the designer did, or
mhm,
as Biz just said, you can create your own unique
mhm,
design with your own color choices, your own yarn choices, and stuff like that. So you just have to look at the materials list and make sure that you're getting as close as possible so that you're finished object turns out the way it's supposed to.
Right, and both of our blankets are actually an example of those 2 opposite ends. You curated
Mhm.
your color palette, I kind of went
I
digging in my
did.
stash and came up with what I
Yeah.
came up with. I was like, "Ooh, this looks good, this looks good, and this looks good," you know? So which you did the same thing, only you made sure that it all matched. So,
I'm a planner, Biz. I'm a
you are a
planner.
planner.
Gotta have it
So
all fixed. Yeah.
that's funny. But, so yeah, there's a from us, the designers, you're gonna receive your materials list. All of that information is out on the blogs already.
Mhm.
And you can, like she said, make exactly what we made, or you can make something else. Um, from us, you'll be receiving twice weekly downloads for like I'm just going to talk about our Cal. I know I'm a little bit ahead of it, but just speaking specifically to what you'll receive from a designer, you'll receive weekly downloads, and then you'll also receive personal support within the group. And that's not something that's necessarily always available. Now, it depends on the designer as to whether or not they make themselves available for counseling or help with the patterns, or this, that, and the other. Some don't. They really don't. And I'm a firm believer in, if you are paying for my pattern, or if it's my pattern, I'm here to support you no matter what. So you just have to judge it based on the designer, and we're here to support you in this pattern that we are going to be talking about later. All right. I think I killed that horse. Um,
Oh gosh.
setting goals and staying motivated during a cal, because if you've ever participated in a cal, it's very easy to be, oh my
Mhm.
God, when you first start it. And then very quickly life gets in the way and you're like, I'm so far behind. I don't think I can do this. And then you just walk away or quit or whatever.
Right. Right.
So what do you do to set goals and stay motivated when you're working in a cal? I'm
You know,
usually the first person.
this is the I try to approach it realistically. I don't choose to do the Cal if I don't think there's a way for me to participate, because that's the beauty of the Cal, is doing it at the same time as everyone else. But
Mhm.
you're right, life happens, and I try to be as realistic as possible about, okay, well, if I don't get this done, all of that information is still in the Facebook group, it's still on the
Mhm.
blog, it's still
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Um, I may or may not catch up, but at least I have the benefit of the group effort.
Yeah.
So I try first not to choose a Cal I can't participate in. Like, I get
Mhm.
the first one in and I'm like, no, I have to be done. And then I really try to show up, and when
Yeah,
I do choose that one.
that's a really good point. Um, one of the things that is my favorite about being in a Cal, and especially inside of a Cal group, is the people who do participate. I love everybody, but it's so much more fun when you can interact with people. And
Mhm.
even to excuse me, even to this day, I've been watching in your Madam Stitch crochet corner, where people are still coming and asking you questions about the Granny Square Cal that you
They
just
are.
did recently. And that was months ago, and you're still showing up to answer questions,
Mhm.
like, so it's not like it ever goes away. That participation can happen at any point, wherever
Mhm.
you are in the project. You don't It's not about keeping up. I have a good friend named Teresa. One of the things that she's always said, is it doesn't matter what speed you go as long as you just keep moving. You're not in
Yep.
competition with anybody else. And names another one who's really good about just kind of calming everybody's fears, because I have wonderful moderators in my crochet along group that they talk to people and just like, it's okay. We're not in a competition here. We are all here just to enjoy each other. And that's really the biggest part that I want people to walk away from a Cal with is, we're not in competition. This is about you enjoying the project.
You have to watch for those people, though, who get it done yesterday.
Oh, they
And
do.
they're you don't do not have FOMO. You're not missing out on anything. You you didn't do anything wrong by not getting 8 squares done in 10 minutes. You're just
Yes.
not. So, one of my favorite statements is, "If you aren't able to keep up, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
You do you,
Yeah.
and then just acknowledge where you are, and it's still gonna end up being a gorgeous project and a wonderful experience.
Absolutely. And one phrase that I live by personally is comparison is the thief of joy. If I'm consider sitting there comparing myself to what everybody else is doing, or am I
Mhm.
keeping up with everybody, then it sucks the fun right out of the whole project for me. And that goes for anything, like, when I'm comparing myself with anybody on Facebook, or I'm comparing myself in life, whatever. Comparison is the thief of joy. You want to take part in the project for you and not for anybody else, or what you can
Right,
show everybody. Because
right.
we do have, and I love her, and she's become kind of a cow mascot in a way, because the woman makes if she makes one of my blankets, she makes 6 of them, because she's got, like, 5 daughters or something like that. So, as we're going along, and she'll keep up the whole time making 5 blankets, and she does a beautiful job. Her name's Marisol, she's wonderful, I love her to death. Um, there was one cow where she actually apologized. She's like, "Guys, I can't do as many this year as I could do." It's like, "Marisol, it's okay."
One is okay. One is what we're here for, so you're
Yes,
good.
but I mean, she is not a person that you could try to keep up with, because she's fast. And I mean, she will have all 3 of them, like, if I'm putting out a new pattern every Thursday, she's got all 3 blankets done by Thursday for the next section. It's crazy.
I
But she's so
love it.
talented. But that's what I
Oh
love, is
my
like,
gosh.
what a community we build, you know?
Mhm.
How much fun is that?
Yeah, exciting.
All right, speaking of, the next best
Oh,
thing about being in a Cal is connecting with the other participants and forming lasting
yep,
friendships. There are so many people that
yep.
I've met over the years of doing this, and I love them to death. They're great people.
Yeah, I think because we do so much of what we do online, it's it's easy to forget the community part of it. And I think
Mhm,
that's why I enjoy Cal so much because you get to be a part of that community, all working on a common project. And you benefit from everything that everyone else is going through, good,
mhm.
bad, ugly, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and you make those lasting relationships. I mean, I'm starting to see people in my Facebook group that I recognize who are
Yes.
always there, and I
Yes.
love that. I love that.
Yes. Well, it not to make it sound rude, but they kind of become part of the furniture. You know what I mean? It,
Good
it's
furniture,
like
not worn
it's like
out
any
furniture.
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Um, I always I always think of the Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, like, you're there so long that you just kind of become part of the ship.
Yeah.
But it's your group of people, it's your people. That's the best part of
Yeah.
it, it's your people.
Yeah, I like I said, it's easy to feel isolated in an online event. So I encourage everybody to just make a plan to check in once a day. If you're excited about starting a cow, don't get the pattern release and then go off and make it on your own. Come
Yeah,
in
come
and check
back.
out the Facebook group every day and see what people have said, and
Yeah.
just don't be afraid to comment. I mean, the worst that
Yeah,
can
oh, yeah.
happen, maybe someone says something to you you don't like, you just brush it off, move on, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
their issue, not yours.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, actually, I can't remember maybe more than one person that was a negative Nelly in my group. Most everybody is very positive, and
Yeah.
everybody loves everybody, because everybody's at different levels. Not everybody is,
Mhm.
a Marisol. Not every
No,
you know, not
I'm
everybody
not
can.
a Marisol.
I'm not a Marisol. I can't go that fast. Oh my gosh, the one year that I tried to do, there was one Cal. I just have to tell you this story real quick. I was really behind. I thought I was doing really, really well because I had the pattern done, but I didn't have my helper videos done. So I was doing the videos along with the crochet along. You want to talk about my arms falling off, and the amount of pressure I put on myself. It was ridiculous. Never did that again,
Ah,
ever.
no.
Not recommended. Definitely not. Alrighty. So along the way, when you're in a cal, of course, you're going to run into sometimes questions and challenges that you have. And so tips for troubleshooting and overcoming challenges. Do you have any wisdom that you would like to give?
Oh, so much wisdom. No, one of the things that I wish people wouldn't do is start a comment with, "This might be a stupid thing to ask." I wanna say
Mm,
right now, there are no stupid questions.
yeah.
Um, if you need help with it, we're here to help. And the group, there are times when I can't get back in the group fast enough to
Hmm.
answer someone's question, especially if I've gone to bed and people are making it
Hmm.
overnight because they're in some other part of the world.
Right.
There are always people in the group who can provide some sort of answer for you.
Yeah.
So don't assume that your question is stupid because if there are, let's say maybe there are 400 people participating, and that might be a low number for this one, I don't know. But there eh, there are at least 5 other people who are encountering the same thing you are. So
Hmm.
it's not a stupid question. So don't start with that. Start
Hmm.
with, "I really need help with," or
Hmm.
"I don't understand this," or "Has anybody else seen this?" That sort of thing.
Hmm. Or just scream. I mean, like, we're always here.
You could Is there an emoticon for pulling your hair out? I don't know if there's a face
I
palm,
I
but
can I can find one. I can find one for
should
everybody.
we do that?
But
I know there's a poop one, but
help. Um, but yes, I would absolutely concur with that. You were saying that there are people making things all over the world. Um, my group, I've always been very in love with the fact that it's an international group, and my testers are from everywhere. So, I mean, I've got somebody who tests for me in Australia, and then the rest of it's really pretty much the northern hemisphere. But um she's up and she's very, very happy to help people with questions and she likes to be in there and answer things. And because my testers are also, a bunch of them are moderators in my group. So they're in there, they've made the pattern, they know exactly what's happening and they can help you with the questions. So it's it I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say don't be afraid to come in with questions because like you said, there are so many people from
Mhm,
everywhere, and they will be able to help you with the questions. And I know that there's even a few of my people, I don't know all of them, but they are in your group as well. So, and they're a really great group of people as far as like,
mhm.
jumping in and answering questions too. So, it'll just, there's answers for you everywhere you go.
You know what? I will make one suggestion because this came up with the Granny Stitch sampler blanket. I encourage you to tag us when you do the comment.
Yeah.
So if you have a question and you need it answered fairly quickly, tag in my group. You can tag either one of us. I think I'm in your group. If I'm not, I'm going to make sure I am. But you can tag us
Hmm.
um, at Deborah Feel. Oh, I don't know what I am, but you can.
Deborah Field.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You can tag us, and then we get a notification that you've asked us a question. That gets you a quicker answer, I think, than
Mhm.
just posting a question and hoping someone will see it.
Yeah, yeah. Because Facebook is horrible with their algorithms. So a lot of times, even though you're in these private groups, we never see stuff because
Yep.
it doesn't even send us notifications. And there are groups for heaven's sake. So lots of things get missed that way. So yeah, tagging is the very best way to, and that was a great point to bring up. Um, all right. And then engaging with the Cal community of social media platforms. Um, we've been talking about the community aspect of the cal but talking with other people on in the groups themselves, but you can also go through Instagram and all of that stuff, like, you and I are both available on Facebook and Instagram. So,
Mhm.
anytime that they have a question, you can just direct message us there. You can go right into the Cal groups. I mean, like, there's a variety of ways to get a hold of us. I'm sorry, I'm just looking through the you go ahead and
Oh,
talk
well,
about this. I'm gonna just
I have a c yeah, I encourage you to post to other platforms and tag us. We love to see what you're making, and it's a great way to get other people excited about it too. Um, we do as much marketing as we want, as we can, but to have a whole community going, "Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. This is what I've made so far," and then tag us in the post, a great way to share your stuff and get more people involved and engaged.
yes. Yes, absolutely. And that also helps us. That's it. And I'm just going to be honest. It's free advertisement for us, and we appreciate it. But like we said, it's a free cal, and unless you help us get it out there, there's no way for us to read any kind of compensation from this. And it's always talked about what's the best way to help a small business on Facebook or Instagram that you don't have to spend any money. Share the stuff. That's the
Tag
easiest
us.
way.
Yeah.
Tag and share.
Absolutely tag us and leave comments when you see I'm posting this on
Mhm,
Instagram.
mhm,
I'm putting in my stories, I'm doing as much as I can. And when you see that pop up, you can comment
mhm.
any way you want, even if it's just a heart emoji, you know?
Because it helps the algorithm. It's so stupid. Like, why can't the people that wanna see the stuff from the people that we follow see the stuff, you know? But
Don't get me started.
but the
Yeah.
thing is that, like, I've been kind of paying attention to I'm a comment section stalker. And so I will find things and I will just, read if there's a
Wait,
lot of
what?
comments. Yeah. If there's a lot of I'm here for the drama, I get my popcorn. So I like to read through all the comments, but there are a lot, especially in the reels and stuff like that, where people will leave unkind or really nasty things in there. And the um original poster will say, "Well, thank you for helping me with the algorithm, even if you don't like what you saw." Because
I like that.
every comment you post helps it helps me be seen more because it's
So
being talked about.
if you need to be snarky to me, go right ahead and help me appear before
Do
more
your
people.
thing. You're just helping me. Absolutely. Although I was just reading through the comments, and I have to put this up here because you did respond to her, but it's so funny. When we were talking about, being
Getting
behind
behind.
in yes, in the CAL, these are the kinds of comments that my girls like to leave because it's so true. The only behind is the one you sit on. And then this is also Neve in her business account. Much better to ask sooner than sit there unsure and struggling and not enjoying. That is absolutely
Right?
the truth. Um, and then Mick, she's my friend in Australia. She's one of my testers, and she's always really good about helping people through stuff in the middle of the night. Um,
When we be
because
sleeping.
yes, the rest of us are not in Tuesday, and she is. So that is just the weirdest concept. But
I know, right?
yeah. Alrighty, so we've pretty much covered everything as far as subject wise, like what you can expect in a cal. If you have any questions, absolutely ask them. We are here to answer any questions that you do have. But we're at this moment going to switch over and we're going to talk specifically about our cal.
Oh my
Yay!
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just excited, excited, excited because this is such a love project for both of us.
Oh my gosh. Should we talk about how we came up with this? Because this is really kind of
Yes,
cool.
yes. So it started with us 4 or 5 months ago. We were talking
Mhm.
here and we were saying, gosh, we should do something together. Cuz like we do this, we talk to each other
Right.
and we're so different in so many ways that there's no way it could fail, right?
Well, it was an interesting discussion. I mean, we basically landed on a blanket because that is arguably one of the most traditional and popular kinds of cows. So we landed
Right.
on that. And then I don't know how the conversation came around to let's make it something about memories.
Well, we were
Um,
talking about self-care, and that's the subject we
mm,
were discussing at the time. And we were like, we should come up with some kind of project that really promotes self-care and self-love in the crafting community. And then we were like, oh, maybe we should do a blanket or this or that. And then of course it came around to a cow. But we wanted this to be something that you make for yourself. And that's where that was born.
yeah, and the memories part of it.
Mhm.
Originally, we were talking about grabbing yarn out of our stash from
Yeah.
projects that we had made.
Yeah.
That didn't work so well for me because I work mostly with DK weight yarn and we want it to be worsted weight. So we had
We
to
were
kind of rethink that a little bit. So what we did was we designed the blanket with all of the designs that we had made that year in the stitches and techniques.
yeah.
um, Biz, you made yours totally from your yarn stash, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing! Because this takes a lot of
Because
yarn.
first of all, like I just well, I just didn't have the money to go and buy a bunch of stuff, and I had gobs and gobs of yarn left over from my Christmas blanket that I had just gotten done with. And I'm like, I really just need to use what I have and be a good steward with that.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that because we always go, "Ooh, but I want." And so this one I made myself behave. So, excuse me.
But you said your testers also use their scrap yarn, right?
He did, and I'm in love with what
Ah,
they've made. They've the prettiest, just the prettiest stuff. So we're gonna be posting, and I think I've already done a post and yeah, we already did a post with most of the testers ones, but I'm gonna have them post in the group
yeah,
and
and
I
I
should
don't
have
think I have, though. So I
yeah,
think you have, but I don't think I have, so I need to get those pictures
yeah.
and post them. You could see mine behind me. I actually bought mine because 'cause
Mhm.
I'm not very good with putting colors together unless the yarn tells me what to do,
Oh,
and
that's
so
funny.
I actually bought it in a 10 skein pack of coordinated colors and then assigned mine. This color palette is totally not me, but it's
It's so pretty.
fantastic, fantastic. So I was the one who went out and bought all my yarn,
That's
because I
okay.
couldn't do a DK weight blanket. So,
I love yours though, and I think one of the things that I love the most about our blankets is the juxtaposition of how we chose our colors.
yep.
I'm very much into the fall tones and really deep and rich and loud. I design loud, I crochet loud, I talk loud. I'm just
Well, you
loud.
should put up the presentation so they can see the 2
Oh
next to
yeah,
each
yeah, yeah.
other.
Sorry, my bad. All right, I'm
It's
gonna get rid
alright.
of this little guy here, and we're gonna go like and to the
Oh, there you
here.
go.
Doot, doot,
Alright.
doot. All right,
Look
so
how dramatic Biz's is.
yeah, they're so
Hers is on the
different.
left.
Yes,
Mhm.
and Miss Debbie's is on the right, and hers is more in the. And like I've told her before, it just feels very Victorian, but I love Victorian stuff too. I just never seem to because here are her beautiful squares. These are the squares that are going to be highlighted in the crochet along itself. From left to right, do you want to tell them what they are?
Yeah, so left to right, I did a mitered square. Granny stitch is my thing, so there has to be granny stitch. You'll notice there's a granny stitch in each one of these squares. Now, the last one, which I'll get to in a moment, is a little harder to tell that the granny stitch is there. But this is a mitered square on the left. Then the second from the left in, I have been doing a series of designs this year called Cordelia. And the camel stitch, the one that looks like surface stitching, combines the granny stitch and that surface stitch look in all of those designs. So that's the Cordelia square. Then the one next to it, the second from the right, is the rustic square and starts with that circle. There's a granny stitch in there on the fourth round. And that sort of combines a bunch of things that I did this year. And the one on the right is one that this is a brand new design. The granny stitch, this is all front post stitches that create those
Ridges.
vertical and horizontal lines, right?
Mhm.
But the granny stitch is actually a double crochet, a front post double crochet, and a double crochet all worked around and in the same stitch. So the definition of a granny stitch is 3 double crochet in the same stitch or space. Well, the middle double crochet of that granny stitch is a front post. I'm so excited about this one. That one's going to come up in other designs in 2024. And
Nice.
all of them are easily accessible. There's nothing fancy about them, but they combine into that blanket really well.
And they work up really quickly. Like those are
Hmm.
not laborious. They're little 5-inch squares. They don't take you but a couple of minutes to make.
Yep.
And they're very simple. And what I love about like the first and third ones really give you the opportunity to play with colors
Hmm.
and you can repeat colors so that they all coordinate going all the way across because each of the 4 squares that are being released, you're going to need to make 8 of them in order to make a strip to add to the blanket. So it gives you a lot of time, a lot of place to play with color. Even the ones that are going to be solid colors, which are squares 2 and 4, um, those give you the chance to, if you want to bring in a whole palette, make one in every single color of your palette. That way it
That's what I did.
automatically ties in.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Then,
look
okay.
at these textures. Oh my
So we've
goodness.
got 5 textured stitch areas. And all right, so mine is a little bit out of order, but okay, so the second one in from the left, the orange and the brown one, that's going to be section 1. All of these, except for the very last section that I did, which is going to be the fourth picture over from the left that has the red, the yellow, and the blue in it. I have not ever used that stitch in a design, but that will be used in a design coming up. So we've kind of at the end of the blanket, we were kind of like, I've run out of stuff I've done. Now I got to do something new. But each of these have been touched on in either a blanket or a smaller design that I've done. As a matter of fact, the orange section in the second picture, that was actually a what was that? Oh, that was a bag pattern, the swirly bottom bag. That's what that comes from. So each one of these, most of these have been in blankets because I don't really make a lot of accessories or other things, but you will have touched them if you made one of my patterns this last year. And
I learned so much by making all of these sections because I deal mostly with granny stitch and simple things. And not that these are complicated, but we as designers have our own likes and dislikes and what we tend to gravitate toward.
yeah,
And all of your sections really challenged me to think outside my Madam Stitch box.
I love that. All right. So, like you did, I'm just going to quick explain what's in each of the pictures. So, the plaid is
Okay.
just, it's a buffalo plaid. That one is going to be 5 double crochets of one color, and you're going to switch and do 5 double crochets of another color. It's very, very simple. The one above that, though, is where it kind of looks like, oh, Neve, help me. You called it something when you looked at it before, but it kind of looks like a heartbeat pattern. Those are spike stitches. And they're very, very simple. Spike stitches shouldn't scare you. They are easier than they look. But see, that's what all of this should be, is it should make you look like a crochet genius and be totally easy to do. So the second picture, the brown and orange, that all that is going to be single crochets, chains, and double crochets, literally through both sections. And there is top stitching in that orange section, which is just a slip stitch across the top of your fabric. The third picture, okay, so this one is going to be the most challenging of all of the patterns in the blanket. Is going to be this little diamond pattern one on the bottom. Now, this is one of those makes you look like a genius, and it's really, really simple to make, but you're going to scratch your head the first time that you ever try to do it. There is there is a video that I have made that will teach you how to do that stitch included in the pattern so that you are not left out in the weeds with this one because when we've been talking and joking about having patterns that have, paragraph sections when you're talking about one line. This is one of those patterns. It
Yeah.
takes so much to explain what to do. It's easier for you to just go look at the video. So,
Mhm.
with that being said, it's available for you. And then the one above that is the little polka dots. That one is, we just talked about popcorns last week. That is going to be, I think that's 5 double crochet cluster though, and double crochets. The next picture over is that diamond stitch that's just front post double crochets and the rest of it's single. The brown with the red, yellow, and blue, that one is literally just, once again, double crochets and single crochets and chains. And then the last picture is just double crochets and chain spaces, and then the waffle stitch, which is just front post double crochets and double crochets. I mean, they all look so much more intricate
Mhm.
and hard, but every single one of them uses stitches. They are
Yeah.
all, like you might feel challenged at the end of them, but you will have expanded. And you'll never look at another pattern again and go, I don't think I can do that. You're going to be like, no, I bet I can. And so we're going to finish it off with a simple border, which is just going to be the linen stitch. I did mine in a manner so that my colors stacked on top of one another. You can do it however you want, obviously.
I
'Cause-
actually assigned a different color to every round
Mhm,
after the main colors to make it look more like
mhm.
a woven piece of fabric.
Yeah, because the linen stitch is beautiful, and it gives it kind of like sewn carpet tapestry kind of effect to
Mhm.
things. And it just is a really great stitch. But yeah, I did mine stacked and she did hers where it's a little bit more random, which it's all personal taste. So these are the two blankets side by side, and that's how our colors came together. Now, mine has more of a woodsy, fallsy feel to it. Deb's has got a little bit more of an Eastery, springtime beachy feel to it. It really does remind me now that Neve had said that in the comments here. She said it reminds me of the beach. It does remind me of the washed out houses down in Perdido Key, which is about 25 minutes from me. And it's a very resorty place, but all the houses have that really super washed out sun bleached look to them. And that really reminds me of that. But
And it all starts Monday. Oh my goodness. Ah!
oh my
So
gosh.
excited.
So, if you're not on our email list, we're going to make sure that there are in the description on YouTube, we're going to be adding some links. We're going to add in the links to our email list so you can sign up so you can receive notifications. We're going to add in our blog posts that talk about this so that you can read about it if you either missed something or you feel like you want to know a little bit more. I think we covered everything, but just in case, which those blog posts have all the fancy links in it as well. And then we are also going to make sure to link to the pattern is technically available for you to buy today. Um, Now, like we said before, it is free on our blogs for you to view. It will be forever free on our blogs. But if you want it to be all in one place, which includes what else did you add to it? You've put all kinds of value
Oh
in there.
gosh, it's yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. I did a full page of how the concept came to be, a full page on each one of us because we actually are very interesting people. It's fantastic. Um, I included a table that shows exactly what colors each of us
Mhm,
assigned to the different
mhm.
sections and stuff. And then a table where you can assign your own colors.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah,
That's a
so
great
blank
resource.
blank table where you can just write in, oh, I think I'll use brown here.
Mhm,
Um, then I created crochet charts for the 4 squares because I
mhm.
like to make crochet charts with my designs. And finally, how you can get in touch with us in all, I mean, all the
All the
places.
places.
All the
Like
places. All the
there are
places.
links for everything in there, if you need to reach us, email, website, whatever.
Mhm.
Also, we've included in there links to various tutorials on how to do certain stitches, etc. We just have it all in one place, so it's like a
Mhm.
30-page document.
Yeah,
So
and we have a US terms version
yeah,
and a UK terms version.
yes,
Thank you, Neve.
yes, she's wonderful, isn't she? But because we have an amazing tech editor, we have these two separate terminology um, forms available, and but want to be very, very careful when you're choosing which one you want because they're not both available at the same time. You have to choose one or the other, and
Right,
because it has digital content, etc., etc., and the file is too big for us to actually email to anybody. You need to make sure that you're choosing the right one.
right. Absolutely. That's the
So,
deal.
dirty business out of the way. It always feels so weird talking about that stuff, but it has to be,
I
I'd
know.
rather you know.
Get it
Um,
right the first time. No.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my
All
god, we're
right.
horrible. Anyway, so we are just super stoked and we're so grateful for all of you that have joined us to talk about this, and we hope we gave you some good information on what a cal is from both a designer's perspective and from what you can expect as a maker. And specifically for the cal that we've launched today, that is technically starting like the free pattern starts Monday, and it will be available because we're starting with squares on Mondays and we are doing the section. So, are we still also going to be getting together for videos?
We are. You and I need to
Mhm.
plan that. But yes, we're going to try very hard in
Yes.
our busy schedules to do
Yes.
lives to talk about each section and square that we
Yeah.
release. It just kind of happened to work out the way we have the
Mhm.
blanket constructed that squares end up on Mondays and sections end up on Thursdays. But we're
Mhm.
releasing the blanket in the order that it should be made.
Yes. Yes. Because yes, technically you can make all the squares at once. Yes, technically you could make all of but I don't recommend it because You're building as you go. Um, and it's better for you. Well, we're just doing it the smart way. All right. That's what we're going to say. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop talking about it. Anyway. So blessings. Um, I can't think of anything else. If you guys have questions, you know,
Pop it in the Facebook
question.
groups.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. And if you're one of my testers, feel free to go out there and share it with people. So
absolutely.
yes. But we're just so grateful for all of you. But now we've come to the part of the show where we talk about what have you wasted your mind on this week?
Oh, no waste. Oh, my mind has not been wasted at all. No. All of the network TV shows are finally premiering.
Nice.
And I was very happy to see how NCIS resolved the cliffhanger that they had at the
Oh,
end of last season, which was arguably last May. Um,
wow.
but they did a really great job of resolving that to, well, at least my satisfaction. I don't know what other people think. Um, I had the TV to myself last night, so I caught a couple more episodes of the first season of Reacher, which the more I watch it, the more I'm just in love
I've got
with
to
the
finish
show.
watching that.
Well, they've got 2 seasons. I don't know when the
Mhm.
3rd season's going to premiere, but it's
I
so,
don't think I
so
finished the
good.
second season.
So that's what I've been watching. What about you, Biz?
I haven't watched Reacher. We've been doing our like I said, and I know you all know this, we have transitioned our trash reality TV into just reality TV. And we have been watching The Worst Cooks in America. So, of course, that's always the staple because Tony's got to have his reality TV at night.
Yep.
I, in the afternoons, however, have been watching some documentaries, some murder documentaries. And then I have recently gotten back into just basic old sci-fi movies. Like I have just been I think it's because I found a streaming we haven't been on Hulu in ages. And apparently Hulu's got a lot of really good old movies in there. And so we have been using it and I'm like The Abyss, which is a sci-fi movie, and The Thing, and just, good stuff like that. So I like my aliens.
I do too, but I haven't been watching any aliens. Oh, we watched a movie a couple weekends ago on Apple TV called The Family Plan with Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, it is the funniest movie we've watched in ages,
Oh, that's cool.
about a secret agent. He used to be a secret agent,
Yes.
an assassin, and he now has a normal family, and under what we find out is an assumed identity, and they find him. People have been
Oh,
looking for him. The bad guys have
that
been
sounds
looking for him,
funny.
and it is hilarious. We laughed for the entire length of the movie. It was just great.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you happen to have Apple TV, you have to watch The Family Plan because it is so funny. So funny
Well,
if
I
you want
might have
something
to
entertaining.
I know we can rent it, I think probably on Prime, and, if it's a good movie, it's worth renting.
It's really, really good. Highly
Mhm.
recommended. But
Well,
yeah, the
awesome.
regular
I've been
and
wanting to
network
see that one.
TV.
Well, cool beans. Alrighty. So to just recap, we are just getting done talking about cows. We have been, of course, watching our TV while we work. Oh my God, I do have an incident report I have to make. So
Uh-oh.
last night, I've been working on this order for somebody, and it's a baby cocoon bag with a hood thing. All right. So I sat down and I was booking. I was cruising. Like I was getting so much done on this thing because it's been one of those patterns where you literally have to count every 7 stitches. So sometimes that can be really daunting for me. So it's
Oh, that's not mindful crochet for me.
3.5 inches I had to rip out because I started with the wrong effing row when I came back to it. Excuse my language.
Oh,
So,
no.
I was so mad. Like, I sat there and you know how when you are so shocked, you want to cry, but
What?
you literally can't
You
squeeze a tear out. You are just absolutely
Oh my
mortified to your soul.
goodness.
That's where I was last
Oh.
night. And Tony looks he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like and I went, "That poor man." And I'm like, "I didn't have to swear, I just wanted to." So,
Oh my goodness.
I had to
I'm
repent
I'm very
and
sorry, but
rip out 3.5 inches, and now that's what I get to make today. Yay.
oh no. I'm so sorry.
So, I mean, you know what?
I'm laughing only because it's happened to me
I
and I
know, I know.
just want to hurt someone
No,
when it
it's so relatable, isn't it? This is terrible.
see it happens to all of us, right?
Mhm. Oh, yeah, and this thing is so long. It's, like, so long,
Oh my goodness.
and I ripped out so many stitches. But anyway,
Oh goodness.
that's what I'm gonna do when we get off of here. I'm gonna go work on that. So,
Okay. Well, have fun.
alright. So, I think we've covered everything. Hope you guys have a great, great weekend, and, please show up on Monday because we wanna see your faces.
Yeah.
Alright.
Fill it
Love
with
everybody.
crochet, gather your yarn. Let's do it.
Yes. Bye.